What's up, Kengan fans? It's time for the latest chapter live reaction for Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega chapter 280. And the title concerns me. The title is Triumphant Cry. That, ladies and gentlemen, is very concerning. Triumphant, not battle cry, not war cry, not roar of a lion or roar of a dragon or something, you know? Or, you know, the majesty of an emperor. None of that. Triumphant, as in victory, as in finished, as in we won. If this fight ends, which was already setting up to be, so far the fight has been good. I mean, I'm sure there's people who complain because that's the Kengan, you know, toxic fandom, you know. The haters keep reading and I don't understand their mindset, you know. I just don't. But that being said, the criticisms in general, honest criticisms, are legitimate about this tournament for the most part. And before even going into this, when I read that title of the chapter, I'm very concerned going into this one. I know this intro's long, but I just want to let you guys know my thought process, because I read what the chapter title was, you know, on my lunch break, and now it's after supper, and I've been racking my brain. Please don't tell me that this fight that's been going so well is going to end this chapter. We need at least another 3 chapters after this. You know, I'll even take 2. So, yeah, I'm very concerned. I'm quite concerned, but let's not put the cart before the horse quite yet. Let's jump in. Okay. So as you guys know, my money is still on Agito, but an upset win would be Roland. And once again, this is a very extremely difficult fight on both sides. I just think narratively it sets up a major rematch that a lot of people have wanted. So there's that potential, but I don't know. Let's see what happens. So chapter 280, Triumphant Cry. The first panel is, of course, he's in the formless plus martial arts style, you know, he's rolling, you know, and as we know, his martial arts mixed with formless. Formless is definitely his ability to adapt to another's fighting style. So we're going to see if he's going to play at Roland's game, you know, or is he going to do a little bit of salad? Is he going to do something? I'm not sure, but yeah. The first lines are, I guess the time for talk has passed, huh? Yeah, no more talking, all right? Let's go. Okay, a good square off. Alright, let's see. Roland Donaire versus Kano Agito. So we see the crowd. There's Yamago, Han, and Kaede. And a lot of people have been complaining about Yamago Han. Kazi to most people, but to me, affectionately, Yamago Han. A lot of people have been saying that his narration has been too bad. And the thing is, the problem is, it's forcing a problem that the narration, unfortunately, the heavy amount of narration and explanation has all been inner monologue from Yamagohan here. And that was a mistake, in my opinion, by Sandro, because he's doing it far too much. And it's all him. It's not other fighters. You know, it's not Kaede asking questions. We don't have, like, Shen and Joji and Oma and all these guys watching like before. We're getting everything from one character's perspective, and it's laid on too thick. So, it's unfortunate, but let's see. 15 seconds. Oh, no. The match is going to be over in 15 seconds. Uh-oh. I remember that it lasted precisely 15 seconds. Okay. I couldn't possibly misremember that. It was the most densely packed 15 seconds of my entire life. Okay, beautiful full page shot there. Wonderful. Roland closing in and Agito about to defend. Okay, very good art. I'm liking the art here. Boom. Okay, so a blocked punch by Agito there. A blocked punch. Okay, Roland and Agito both blocking each other's hits. It's intense. They both back off. Roland comes back, rolling those shoulder blades like he does. He's ready to go. And then Agito puts up the defense and quick punch, a straight punch, straight to Roland's forehead. No, okay. Roland headbutted the fist. Denser bone, sort of a Sao Pang thing going on here. So he was going to go for a strike. He got blown back. So now Agito's in a defensive position. Roland goes downwards, tries for a quick strike upwards. Seems to go on the defense there. And there it is, the elbow. The elbow by Agito. Trying to do more, like, once again, this is sort of, I'm going to argue that this is a bit of the formless coming out. He always brings the same game to his opponents. It's something he tries to do. And here we go. He's got the elbow. Barely dodges the chin of Roland. But then Agito, it looks like it was a ruse. He went for that while stomping on his foot so he could keep him in place. And now it's another exchange of blows. Okay, so this could mean that this is all happening inside of 15 seconds. A little crazy, right? A little crazy. However, in reality, yeah, a lot of MMA matches, they can end in like 1 minute. Like, they end in less than a minute. So that's not, between two good fighters, that's not unheard of. MMA fights don't usually, a lot of the high-level fights don't usually go for round after round after round. It's usually settled within a couple of rounds at the very least. And from the ones I've seen anyway, and ones I've heard about. I'm not huge into that stuff, but... So, there's potential here that this is just Yama Gohan basically saying they were going so fast, all this shit went down in a ridiculous time frame, but maybe it's spread out. Maybe... Okay. Sliver of hope here. I couldn't hear the cheers, or the play-by-play. Not even the sounds they made when they moved. They weren't doing anything special. It was just a high-level exchange for 15 seconds. You know what I'm missing here, though? And a lot of people don't like the liquid validation of Agito's like formless form or whatever, which I took more as like pre-initiative rather than formless. But we're not seeing the same ghosting out, like the same representation. Sort of like One Piece with hockey. Oda hadn't figured out showcasing how he was going to show Conqueror's hockey, how he was going to Vulcanize armament hockey, that kind of idea, until later. The difference is, it's the backwards pedal. The reason that a lot of us loved the later fights in Ashura was because, like, the standard of Kuroki, or the gold standard of Kuroki versus Agito, was that we saw okay, he went for that strike, he dodged, but then he went for this strike and he dodged, and who's going to catch who first. We got a lot of panels of that. They're both clearly using Inception of Intent, pre-initiative, all that, all the requirements. We're just not seeing it visually happening. We're going to base our assumptions on they are doing that, and they're predicting each other's predictions, and it's just, they're so even that it's almost a standard fight again. You know what I mean? We're just not seeing that. I wish that Sandro would go back, or Dara, whoever's making the decisions here on that, and say, you know what, that was a better representation to show how high level these guys are. Maybe we should go back to that. But anyways, so let's see, and then move, and boom, okay, Agito does get with, stepping on the fist, and Roland can't escape. He does manage a full straight, right up against Roland, right in the face. Okay, he gets to the defense. In the 16th second, the balance shifted. Okay, so what happens here? Agito about to gain the upper hand, and He's trying to loosen his foot. Boom. Oh. Slam goes the elbow right against Kano's forehead. Boom. Roland gets free. Agito's on the back foot. The choreography, the art is very well handled here. I gotta say that. This is really well done. And then Roland goes for a giant top-tier roundhouse kick, seemingly making a connection to Agito's face. Jerry Tyson. And now that's something you don't see every day. Roland's throwing a high roundhouse kick. And Kano took it clean in the face. He did take it clean in the face. So he took an elbow straight to the face, followed up by a roundhouse kick. That's going to jostle him around. And Roland then jumps up, dashes, and goes for another elbow. He gets the invisible elbow. Named attack goes off. And that's 3 shots Agito just took to the head. Agito's down on one knee. And it landed. Kano's sunk to his knees. He's bleeding. Kano is bleeding. Okay, he's not unconscious. He's huffing and puffing. He took a lot of damage there. Looks like a pretty deep cut. If this was a public match, the referee would probably stop the fight now. But this is Kengan, and I'm sick and tired of that shit. Like, Agito would not have lost to Giroda had this been the cat. Had it been the Kengan Annihilation Tournament, because Agito was down for all of 2 seconds. They've let Oma and everyone lay bloody on the floor for like a couple of minutes and be like, can they continue? I don't know. He hasn't declared, blah, blah, blah. Look at the whole Cosmo bullshit against Okoya. Yeah, no. Yeah, Kengan got soft in Omega with all this, we're trying to get nicer and not so much killing and blah, blah, blah. They took away the whole underground fighting. But, let's see. So Kano's looking. He looks shocked at something, though. And doesn't seem to be anything shocking. Roland's just back into position. Calm and collected. Huffing and puffing. Roland Donaire is truly a force to be reckoned with. Well, we knew that, once again. Just don't listen to the haters, guys. Like, just because Roland, we're told he has over 400 wins. We know he's beaten Arashiyama a couple of times and stuff like that. He gave Oma a very high-level fight. We knew he kicked Toa's ass and stuff like that. We know his strength. He beat Ramon easily, handily, and he fought against one of the top-tier worms to a stalemate with no visible damage whatsoever, or that he didn't have the upper hand. So, don't listen to the fandom. Don't listen to the naysayers. Both these characters are top-tier fighters. And we're just seeing that here. I'm afraid to say that I have no other qualifications to describe this man. See, that should have been follow-up. He is simply a force of nature, or he is simply amazing, or there should be something else added to that, but okay. So Yama, he's using his smaller size to his maximum advantage, but he's up against Kano here. It'll be up in the air until the very last moment. So Roland looks composed. He looks focused. And he rushes in with another elbow. And we see Kano's in the stance. He lifts himself up from the knee. We see the stance. It's the dragon shot. I cannot lose. Let's go, Agito. I cannot lose. I will not lose again while he takes the elbow. He takes the elbow and Roland manages to block the dragon shot. And Kano takes the elbow. He says, I cannot lose. I will not lose again. And boom, meanwhile, getting dunked on. Flying over. Boom. Oh. Yama, they crossed with the dragon shot and inevitable elbow. But they both dodged each other by a hair. Is that a dodge? I think, realistically, I think Roland got the better of that. He took, nothing, because he managed to, just slam the fist down sort of idea. Yama, you're misseeing that, man, because he still nicked him in the face. That's still gonna hurt. The difference is Roland took nothing. He didn't get hit by the dragon shot. Agito did get hit by the inevitable elbow. However... Oh, Oh. When the elbow grazed his chin. See? I told you. I told you. I knew my eyes weren't lying. Might be wearing sunglasses out of shame, but that's not to say that I still can't see through these bad boys. When the elbow grazed his chin, it concussed his brain. Oh. Well, after taking 3 headshots, it rattled the brain, and now he grabbed him by the back. He's going to knee him right now. Followed up by a knee for the coup de grace. The coup de grace. I know, it's like coup de grace, or it's coup de grace. Anyways, point is, what's going to happen? Is he going to make contact? Agito's foot down. The knee comes up. Agito seemed to lean forward. Agito, let's read. Agito took a step forward and took the thigh to his face. Oh, this man. That was smart. That was smart. Okay, so he's like, I can't get out of this. He's got me by the back and the neck, and his knee is coming. So all he can do is lean forward and not take the knee, but take the thigh. Way less damage, no hard bone, just taking the, taking shock absorption. Still taking a hit to the face. Damn, does it look like it hurt, but way less devastating than a knee. And then, it's coming again. It's coming again, and they're in close combat, the close quarters. That's the time. It's a counter with a followed up another dragon shot. Here it comes. Full page spread. Dragon shot incoming. Let's go from that position. And dragon shot misfires. Doesn't really misfire. It's just that it almost looks like Rakash's palm happened to Roland. Roland took a heavy, that hurt to block. He blocked it. He defended against the dragon shot. But it was like, holy fuck. Like one of those. Okay. Before I even read on. The dragon shot misfiring has already happened. Once a long time ago. What is Kano's answer? What has he learned? Please tell me he has a follow-up move. Some type of, maybe a new move, maybe something, even just something unnamed and simple. But, sort of like Gao Lang did with the God Glow, leading you, making you afraid of this. And using it as bait to get an advantage, to get a sweep, to get a karate chop to the neck, an upper hand to the chin, something. A leg sweep even. Went to the dragon shot, you didn't see the leg sweep coming, boom, goes the jackhammer. What? Please tell me he's learned. The dragon shot misfiring, he's already learned that. You've learned from your mistakes. You cannot lose again, Agito. Oh, that's not even a full page spread. There's another. The fist was already there. Is it going to be like a knuckle strike or something? It's already right by. Twin dragon shot. The art here has been really good. Really, really good. Not quite Ashora's best, but it's better than we've seen in a long time, I would argue. I think that this is some of the best art we've seen in months from this series. This chapter has had nothing but fire art. And he was ready for it with a twin dragon. Okay. So he got a dragon shot off right here, right to the temple. That being said, Agito took a lot of heavy damage to the face and stuff, so I don't think Roland's twin dragon shot, but yes, using one and following up with the other. So the reason this works for me is because, first off, this is an actual full page spread. I just made sure of that because I didn't even see that. I was like, okay, what's he gonna do? And then meanwhile, I was talking like it was a full page spread. Okay, so the reason this works for me is that not because I already know. I'm gonna stay off. I'm gonna stay off of like discussing this chapter for the most part, other than my comment section, because I know what people are gonna hate about this chapter. I know what people are gonna not like here, there, and everywhere. But the twin dragon shot here only works because of what I just said Agito did. He used the first one as bait. He didn't get blocked and then start another dragon shot. He assumed this was going to miss. And he was already in motion for the second one, baiting the focus to his right while he followed up with his left, never thinking that the right wouldn't be blocked in the first place. That's what makes this cool. It was a follow-up through the inception of intent. He had Roland following this fist and slacking on paying attention to this one into his blind spot before he even saw it coming. He was already in motion while that was being blocked. I know that for a fact because it was too quick. It was too fast of a sequence for him to go, for Agito to even be shocked by it. He knew it was going to be blocked. He assumed Roland was a good enough fighter to block that first shot, and he was already counting on it. He was counting on Roland's focus to predicting this shot. So I like this. I didn't know it would be a follow-up dragon shot, like dragon shot. I didn't realize he was doing that. As I said, a leg sweep, an uppercut, something different, something to follow up with his other side, with his left side, while keeping the focus here, because we've seen the dragon shot misfire, and that is how he lost. He lost depending on this and not knowing what to do if his ace in the hole fails. He never had that happen before, so he never knew what to do. He's had it fail once, and technically, he hit Dorada with it, blah, 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 but he's learned from his mistakes. So, boom, I like that. Okay. However, the next page says, however, Roland comeback time, people. However. Oh, there was a second dragon. Okay, never mind. We're still praising Agito here. I was like, I read the however, I went, oh no, Roland's going to be however. The inevitable elbow comes up to the chin or something, So that looks devastating. And slam. They're both on the ground. Roland face first. Agito manages to break his fall. Looking fucked. Holy shit. By the narrowest of margins. Yeah, like, holy shit. He might have gotten that smack off. He might have gotten... But, holy shit. All looking on. Gao Lang looking on. Stoic. Is he disappointed? Is Roland standing above him? And, wait, Agito. He's up. The new power he sought to overcome his two defeats at the hands of Kuroki Gensai and Arashiyama Jirota had just come to fruition. What made the ultimate difference was the experience of defeat. You learn more from defeat than you learn from success. Let's go! And Roland, oh my god, he looks that dragon shot, that's some fuck. I love how these guys heal from these massive dents in their head, like they never took a shot. Raise a triumphant cry, you mighty champion. We have a winner. Agito roars to the crowd. Listen to Agito howl. Kano Agito has won the showdown of champions. And Agito is just there in the last panel of the chapter. As I said, Agito is he just howls, man. He's like, howl! And I'm sure he's not actually howling. I'm howling. But I'm pretty sure that this man's like, fuck yes! That man has never felt that good in his life. Like, okay, all right. This man feels as good as women who have been in the vicinity of Mutaba. And we know the expressions on their faces all throughout Ashura. Okay? So... Alright, you know what? Alright, that is the end of the chapter. Yeah, that is the end of the chapter. Okay. Okay. So you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Is that the fight's over, and funnily enough, I told you guys, I was like, this fight better be, I told you guys at the beginning, this fight better be like 7-8 chapters. At least bare minimum 5 and all this stuff. And we basically had 2.5. The fight is over. And I told you guys at the very beginning of this reaction that I was not going to be happy with this. I was, no, the fight cannot end this early. We have great choreography. The art is being solid for a change. It's being even fire. Don't do this to me, blah, blah, blah. I completely forgot while reacting. Because I wasn't skipping through, okay, yeah, they punch, they fight, the dragon shot, invisible elbow, oh, Agito won. I didn't do that on my phone. I sat here, read every line, looked at every panel, spent almost a fucking half hour by the looks of this time code. Reading the chapter. Actually reading it. And I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot. As the hype built up, I completely forgot my feelings at the beginning. And now here at the end, I'm satisfied. This is weird. Like, I know so many people, and myself included, at the beginning of this reaction would be like, you're telling me one of the most hyped fights built up in this series is only 3 fucking chapters? Are you fucking kidding me? I understand, and I know the internet is going to be swelled. 99% of the people are going to have that opinion. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I would have loved to have a couple more chapters of this. That being said, I can honestly say it was a high-level exchange with great art, hype moments, Agito progression, Roland proving his salt. I'm sorry, guys. I know that this is in the minority, so I have to apologize. 1, as a Canadian, and 2, as I know this is gonna be a hot take. This is the best fight of the tournament, and I'm actually okay that it was short. I would have liked more. I will give you guys that. I would love to have more of this. But the fact is that every blow that connects from one of these masters, one of these kings, is this devastating even to one of their own. That these fights, I know I'm just going to be, beating a dead horse, with that argument. So I'm not going to, spend another 10 minutes explaining why it's okay that this was short. I'm just saying that, because once again, maybe when my hype has cooled down and Agito won, setting up the rematch that I have wanted forever and stuff, as I said, when the recency bias, when the hype of reading this and reacting to this chapter, page by page, panel by panel, line by line, and taking my sweet time with it, when that dies down, I will probably say, you know what, we really deserved more. We should have had at least one more chapter before this one. But I'm also going to say that the ending to this fight, the lead up to the end of this fight, and the entire fight choreography was great. 2 thumbs up. I loved it as I was reading it. So, I'm really torn. I'm really torn yeah. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I will be pleasantly surprised and a lot of people will be like, maybe they'll have my opinion. I wish we had more, but that was a pretty good fight. I just wish it was longer. And if that's your complaint, I agree. But this was a good fight. This was a great fight. This was a really good fight. The art was on point. Choreography was good. I was so hyped. This was the best chapter of the tournament. Easy. And now I'm going to assume before the Gao Lang versus Agito match starts, we're going to go back to the Three Kings of Kengan. So, I mean, let's just keep eating pretty. Yeah, I can't believe I went into this with such a negative mindset due to the fact, and it was correct. My fears were realized, but halfway through they lost their justification. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Here at the end of the video, I'm just trying to say that I went into this with a negative attitude that no matter how good this fight ends, this is going to suck if it ends this chapter. That there's no possible way that I can enjoy this and it'll be good or satisfactory if this fight ends this quickly. I went in with that fear, went in with that mindset, and lost the mindset, lost that justification, and had a great chapter. Had a great read. That's all I'm trying to say. And I hope you guys managed to, put your egos and whatever else and your pride and stuff, just like I did in your mindset. I don't know how else to say it, in a positive way, but just I'm hoping that more than myself was able to sort of compartmentalize that negativity, move it over here, read the chapter slowly, and it was able to enjoy it in the same way that I was. Rather than, as I said, go on your phone, go on Komaki or whatever, the moment it drops at noontime and go swoop, foop, 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 and read 19 pages in under 2 minutes, right? I know that the people who do that are going to hate this. But if you actually took your time, I'm wondering if your opinion varies. So I'll be curious to check that out. Certainly will let the recency bias of myself die down a little bit first before I check out the rest of the Wild West that is the internet. But yeah, I mean, long-ass reaction for a reason. That was a hype fight. That was the best fight of the tournament, easily beating out Gerada and versus Gao Lang to me. Still the second best fight in my opinion. That was a hype fight. It could have been longer, should have been longer. Sure, make that argument. Doesn't take away from the fact that this was still a great fight. I enjoyed every page. Let's go. And now we're getting the rematch. We're getting the rematch. Yeah, and if we get more of this, and it's... Now, this fight, I'm hoping, is a little longer, once again. I hope that if he does it to us twice, because he wants to move on, then I will see more of the complaints. But, for right now, like, comment, and subscribe. I think I've said my piece well enough, now that I've taken up 45 minutes or... only 35 minutes of your time. So, anyways, that's it from me. Have a good one, everyone, and we'll see you back here next week, assuming we're not on break or whatever. But yeah, so, Chapter 280. I think that was my most hyped chapter of the real tournament. But that's probably just me. Probably a hot take, knowing this community. But it is what it is. Have a good one, everyone. Sayonara. See you here for 281.